All right, Bozo.
Yes, sir.
Man, welcome back.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me back, bro.
For sure, man.
Yeah.
You know, it's always dope working with you.
Most definitely. Likewise.
Yeah, for sure. You know, you always got some outspoken things to say.
Yeah, for sure. Honesty is my biggest attribute. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, you know, man, I thought, you know, it wouldn't be right if we didn't start off the interview, you know, with rest in peace to Stomper.
Oh, for sure. Thank you. Appreciate that, man.
You know, and, you know, the sad news, I was shocked. You know,
Yeah.
I didn't even know he was sick or he was going through anything.
Yeah, he kept it private for a very long time. Very prideful dude, you know what I'm saying? You know how it is. For a man to lose his health or start to lose his health or see his health deplete is very hard for the ego, you know, the male ego. So it's nothing really, you know what I mean, that you really want to talk about. And I don't blame him, you know what I'm saying? He didn't even tell us, to be honest with you. The homebush from the neighborhood found out probably about like days from when it really got serious, you know, because we had to step in more or less, you know, because he was just in such bad shape, you know what I mean? But, you know, it's been like that. I think a lot of people relate, you know what I mean? COVID really didn't help, you know what I'm saying? Prior health conditions didn't help. So, yeah, I mean, we're in that time, you know what I'm saying? Where health is scarce, you know what I mean? And very important right now, you know?
It seems like that.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. I've been to a lot of funerals this year, more than I'd like. Around people that I'm around are also losing a lot of people due to you know, either COVID or other existing health issues that have been affected from the COVID, you know what I'm saying? It's like COVID's the sauce on a taco right now, you know, like it's really compounding on things that you could have dealt with before, and now it's making it not possible, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, real shit, man.
Yeah.
When I heard about Stomper, you know, I kind of went looking around the internet, and you know, I
Yeah.
seen that he had some kind of condition or something, man. You know, when was the first time you guys met?
Shit, I met Stomper, I believe I was about 13 years old. Stomper has lived in my neighborhood his whole life. Grew up in the city of Pico Rivera, and one of the popular blocks in my hood. And I met him kind of like in a awkward kind of way. Like I was walking through the hood, like typical 13-year-old, walking through the hood looking for trouble. You know what I'm saying? High as a kite, and I see this little bald head. Not a little, because he's older than me. He was older than me at the time. And you know what it is? You know how it is? 13-year-old to a 16-year-old is like huge difference. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But at the time, you know, gangbanging was fucking religion. You know what I'm saying? So long story short, I see him on a BMX because he was a graffiti artist, you know, before. Me and my homeboy Prowler, one of my best friends also, we saw him riding through the hood on a BMX bike, and we just pushed up on him, you know, homie, where you from, homie, you know what I mean? And he basically told me, like, you know, like, hey, homie, like, I got family from the water, you know? So I was like, all right, cool, you know what I'm saying? Well, see you later, you know what I mean? We gave him some love, you know what I mean, based on his relation to the hood. And the next thing you know, like, I think maybe a couple months after that, like, I pulled up to the homies pad and he was jumped in, you know what I mean? So I was like, whoa, like, all right, cool. At first we didn't hit it off. I think because of the initial encounter, like, you know, kids, ego, you know what I'm saying? But Stomper was a really open-minded individual, fool. Like, Stomper was from Southeast, but he was never prejudiced or saw color lines and shit. So Stomper was really the first one that ever really brought me around like blacks and kicked it around blacks. You know what I'm saying? And this is when I was young, you know? Stomper was the first one to ever take me out the hood to spring break vacations and, hey, let's go to TJ, Havasu. You know what I'm saying? All that type of shit. Like, he used to see me do robberies, right? And then spend all the money in the hood. And to him, he'd be like, shit, we could take trips. You know what I mean? Where he got that from, I don't know. Maybe his mom, because mom's very intelligent, very smart lady. But yeah, fool, his mother bought him a Astro van when we were young. And we just traveled, fool, like everywhere really in that motherfucker, you know what I mean? So, yeah, so we met young, man, and we were part of each other's life till the end, you know what I'm saying? Pretty much, you know?
So after you guys meet and, you know, you find out he's from the hood.
Yeah.
Do you guys start hanging out more? Is that
Yes,
when
every day.
you guys start just...
Yeah, well, my neighborhood's small. We're a small gang. So, like, if we're 20 deep in the room, like, we're deep to us. You know what I'm saying? we're deep as fuck. So the brotherhood is really tight. You know what I mean? We're the type of neighborhood where we wake up together, go to sleep together, we eat together. You know what I mean? Like when we were young. You know, now that we're older, of course, we got kids and all that. I mean, no ladies, but as teenagers or even in our early 20s and all that shit, like we just never left each other's side. You know, it was a brotherhood. You know what I'm saying? To this day, it's like that. You know, aside from like family life and hustle and shit. But yeah, man, we're a real tight neighborhood, and he was a big part of the neighborhood. Like he was a big influence. He was he was one of the people that elevated us. You know what I'm saying? His wisdom and his intelligence and his ambition and his view of the world elevated us. You know what I'm saying? And it showed us a lot. Me personally, he's the one that, like, if Criminal put me in the booth, Stomper was the one that brought me to Criminal. You feel what I'm saying? Like it was one of the things. Like we were in the county jail together. He was fighting a lot of charges. He was fighting like life in prison and shit. I was fighting life in prison. And we were with some Crip, Little Bear from Insane. He was busted for murder too at the time. And that fool used to do beats on the bunk. You know, they got the 6-man cells in the LA County Jail back in the day. So it was like 4 homies and then 2 blacks. But like I said, Stomper wasn't prejudiced or nothing like that. So we were quick to make friends, you know what I'm saying, with everybody, you know what I mean? Well, the solid motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, Bear used to do beats on the bunk, and Stomper used to write raps and start reciting them, and then he would make me freestyle, you know? So Stomper really saw something in me, and when he got out, he kept with that vision, you know? Like he pursued the music. He ended up linking up with High Power and Capone and Criminal. And then I think he was probably touring with them for about a year. And then I got out from doing 4 years in prison for a robbery. And I mean, literally, I think probably I was out 48 hours, bro. And he put up to the pad and was like, look, I'm fucking with the homies. You know, let's go. You know, and after that, it was just pretty much over with. Like, music was a big part of our life. You know what I'm saying?
Were you already rapping at the time?
No, I was just fucking playing with it. Just a fan of the music, you know? I had never wrote music until Stomper made me, you know?
I remember one time I ran into Stomper. It was like after a show.
Yeah, you ran into him a lot back in the days, huh?
Yeah. Because I used to open up for Capone quite a bit. You know, and they'd always be having parties.
Yeah, always.
Afterwards, hotel parties and everything, man. What do you think was like your favorite time? You know, what I'm saying, out partying with them.
Shit, my favorite time out partying with them. Fuck, there's so many times, man. I would probably have to say a time that we were in Rosarito. Yeah, he it was random, like out of nowhere. He pulls up on me and he's like, "Hey, it's spring break. Like we gotta go Ensenada, Rosarito, you know." And I'm like, "All right, fuck it, let's roll." But we didn't have no money, you know. We didn't have no money. So he was like, "Well, you and the homeboy, you know what I mean, can make money fast, you know, robberies, right?" So he's like, "Why don't we just hit the road and, you know what I mean, see how much money we can make till we get to the destination?" And I was with it, like, fuck it, let's run it. So yeah, sure enough, we took off. By the time we got to TJ, I believe we had like 12,000, you know? Yeah, so fucking, I break him off a stack. We both had our money and we're partying, bro, right? And, back then it was like party crews, a lot of female party crews, you know? And dude party crews, and people would go out and promote their party crews and all that. So we meet this party crew of females, and sure enough, we take them back to the motel. The motel room wasn't big enough for all of us. You know, it was probably 2 beds, and we had like 15 people in there. He decides to go in the van with a female. All my homeboys get abroad, and I'm left alone, fool. Like, I got no female, you know what I mean? For some reason. But I was coked out, and I had money. So the guys next to me, which were other homies from Puente, Barrio Puente, we just clicked, you know? And the homie was like, let's go, let's fuck this shit. Let's go back to the clubs. You know, your homies are in there fucking whatever they're doing, you know what I mean? Like, let's go back. So sure enough, bro, I go back, and then Stomper and the homeboys come looking for me. So now we're back in the club partying again. It's probably like 3 a.m. now, right? So fucking I end up taking a bathroom break, and I go downstairs and pop us a beer, and as I'm walking through the bottom floor, there's a bar fight, right? And all the Mexican deputies or judiciales, whatever they call them, start coming in, and my dumb ass gets snatched up, fool. You know, they snatch me up. And I'm trying to talk to them in Spanish, like, hey, what I tell him? I tell him, oh no, I tell him, hey carnal, yo no estoy con ellos, you know? And the fucking paisa socks me in the mouth. He's like, boom, no soy tu pinche carnal, hijo tu puta madre. Pinche cholo vale verga, you know? So I'm like, so I fucking shut the fuck up. Like they pumped the fear of God in me, you feel what I'm saying? Because they're throwing us in cages, fool, you know? And my shit's leaking. And the homies are just watching me. And if my homies ain't doing nothing, then I'm really worried. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know I'm fucked, you know what I mean? On Shit Creek. So I go, fool, right? I go and they start throwing us in holding tanks, bro, with a gang of motherfuckers in there. But there's females like here and there, you know, with the guys. And I'm thinking like, what the fuck? There's females in here? Sure enough, fool, like, I'm there maybe half an hour, bro. And this poor couple's in there, this square-ass dude with his old lady. And his lady's spooked, fool, with a bunch of criminals and they're drunks. And he's holding her close, right? And you know how perverts are, fool. Like, the fools next to her are trying to bang her pussy while he's laying. Yes, fool, man. Right? So I'm watching this shit and I'm like, man, these fools. But I'm looking around, I'm outnumbered, bro, you know? And the guy with the girl is like looking at me too, like, help me and shit or something, right? And the girl's scared shitless, fool. And this fucking paisa, fool, pulls out a big old, like, butcher knife, bro. And he's like, we're gonna fuck this bitch right now. Step away from your fucking old lady. He tells the guy, right? And the guy's like, nah, man, like what? She's like, hey, fool, like, I'll fucking slit your throat right now. Like, that pussy's mine, dog, right? So I'm sitting there and I'm thinking like, man, I mean, they're like a pack of hyenas, fool, a gang of drunk-ass paisas, right? So out of nowhere, fool, my homeboy Stomper and another one of my homies come in and they're bringing me food because in Mexico, they don't feed you. So your people got to bring you food to eat lunch, dinner, breakfast. So he's bringing me a dinner in his eyes, you know? But that little moment that he came and knocked on the bar, well, not him, the deputy knocked on the bars and gave me a bag of food. The deputy saw more or less what was going on. And they were like, saquen esa pinche vieja, you know, like, get that bitch out of here. Like, they're about to bone this bitch, you know what I'm saying? So they snatch her, they take her out, and Stomper's like, hey, fool, like, you're in jail, fool, you know, like, they're talking about you got to go see the judge. And I'm like, see the judge? And he's like, yeah, fool, like, they're talking about 4 days from now, you're going to go down to TJ, and you're going to see the judge in TJ. He's like, so I need money to rent the room. We need money to keep renting the room to stay here with you. So I'm like, fuck, dog. Like, what do you mean? He's like, just give me what you got, fool, right? So I'm like, damn. So I'm pulling out money, fool, and I'm like, here, fool. Like, don't fucking leave me, dog, you know? So sure enough, bro, they write it out. The homies write it out 2 days, fool. And they're bringing me food, and Stomper's coming and talking to me. And on the third day, dog, that I'm supposed to go to court, they're supposed to drive me to TJ, which is on the Monday. He just gave them all the money that we had. He gave it to the deputies, and it was like, I need my homeboy out of here. You know what I mean? So I get back. They let me out. I'm like, man, thank God, cause dog, right there, like the bathroom was a hole in the floor, fool. Like if this is the floor, there's a hole right there, fool, deep as shit, and everybody just pissing shit in there. You know what I mean? Like it's fucking horrible, fool. Like you name it, fool. Like it's going down in that bitch, right? So So I get out, bro, and I'm like, man, like this shit is fucking crazy. But now we're broke, fool. We're broke again, and we gotta get home.
Oh shit.
So he's like, look, fool, like we're in the same predicament when we came. Now we're headed home. You know what I mean? Like, what's up? I'm like, run it. You know what I mean? So to make a long story short, we make it home, bro. You know?
Yeah.
And he's like, damn, fool, like I thought you were gone, you know what I mean? I'm like, what you mean? I thought they were. He's like, they were trying to get you for robbery. You know, robbery in Mexico like carries a gang of time. And I was like, robbing who? He was like, I don't fucking know, fool, but like, we're home, fool. Like we're leaving the Havasu tomorrow. And I'm like, but we're broke. He's like, no, we're not. He's like, it's a long road between here and Havasu, fool. We gonna be all right, you know what I mean? So I was like, fuck it, fool, let's roll. You know what I'm saying? And it was just, you know, we just had a lot of fun, dog. Like a lot of memories, and we were all together, like most of my clique. You know what I'm saying? Just living life, bro, and having a good time. And I think, yeah, man, that's probably one of the most fun times I've had with him, aside from doing shows. You know, like the shows was pretty crazy. Cause I got out of prison and went straight to Tucson to do like a radio show, like a summer jam, summer with them fools. You know what I mean? And Capone was real cool back then. Well, I mean, I'm sure he's still cool, whatever. Besides our bullshit. But he was like, that's your homeboy? Fuck it, tell him to get on stage, you know? Take off your shirt, fool, you just got out of prison, like, you look good. Like, peel your shit off, you know what I mean? And I'm just standing there, like, trying to figure out what to do, and fucking Stomps is like, just fucking wave your hands, throw something, you know? Like, show rhythm, fool. And I'm like, fuck, all right. And that shit was just like really eye-opening, you know what I'm saying? Like it was a whole new experience, you know what I mean? And honestly, like music saved my life to this point, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I got him to thank for that shit. Cause honestly, I'm gonna be real with you, fool. Like back then, the thug shit was so religious, fool. Like I would never pursue music, you know? It's not like now, like you can get Fruit Loops or Auto Tunes and just record at your house. Like fuck no, like back then you needed to have money to be in the studio, you know what I'm saying? You needed to know people, and fools that made beats were like rare and everything, fool. Everything back then was a real task, you know what I'm saying? So he made it fucking easy for me, dog. And then, yeah, that's what it is, man. I'm grateful for that relationship we had, you know what I'm saying? For sure.
Yeah, man, that's what's up, man. You guys have some good times.
Yeah, for sure.
Good memories.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of good memories, man.
Well, man, you know, it's a sad situation, man. You know, condolences to
Yeah, thank you, man.
you know, his friends and his family.
Yeah, for sure.
You know.
Yeah.